Gambia. I want to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Usman Kebe, the General Manager of Espas Moto, Mr. Jim Gay, the Sales Manager, Mr. Abdullah Jah, the Head of Technical Services, Madam Kumba Kebe, the Operations Manager, and Madam Bige Fati, Finance Manager, and the entire staff of Espas Moto for their hard work and dedication. Espas Motors partners with the best vehicle manufacturers in the world. When we started, we had only two vehicle manufacturers, and that was Great Wall and Chery Motors from China. Today, Espas Motors is the Mercedes-Benz dealer from Germany, the Ford Motors dealer from the US, Kia Motor from South Korea, Peugeot Motors, Chery, Great Wall, Futon. And I will tell you that Futon Motors, who have supplied most of the buses here today, is one of the biggest automotive manufacturers in the world, supplying trucks and buses. We want to take this opportunity to thank our partners. Mercedes-Benz, some of the buses are Mercedes-Benz. That shows you how serious GTSC is to bring the latest buses to this country. And we would also want to thank Great Wall and to thank Photon for their genuine partnership and their interest in making sure that we meet the expectation of our clients and the general public. I would like to thank Mr. Snyder. I think you can get up. Mr. Snyder is the representative of Photon for Africa, and he flew all the way from China to come and grace this occasion. That shows that even with these few fleets, they respect what they are doing for us in the Gambia. Photon produces over 100 trucks and vehicles every day. So this is a small quantity in what they sell. Thank you very much, Snyder, for asking for this occasion. The fundamental principles of the Q Group is to participate in the social economic development of our beloved country, the Gambia. This is not the first time Q Group is involved in life-changing projects in the Gambia. You will recall, and most of us know that Q Group is one of the biggest employers in the Gambia, with thousands of employees in the different sectors we operate. Q Group is also one of the biggest taxpayers in the Gambia. Q Group Foundation is also doing its corporate social responsibility in the different sectors of society, notably education, health, and youth development. Ajib Bank, the financial arm of the Q Group, has been in partnership with GGC to finance the purchase of groundnuts. You will all recall that everybody in the Gambia understands the word lotte. When President Barrow came to power, he decided that when the farmers sell their groundnuts to GGC, they should be paid instantly. And since he has been president today, Ajib Bank, in partnership with the Gambia Groundnut Corporation, has been fulfilling that promise. Thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity. Ajib Bank, the financial arm of the Q Group, has been also in partnership with the DGC for purchase of fertilizer. Ajib Bank has also pre-financed the purchase of over 30 compactor trucks for KMC, the market project. I've seen my friends here, which has been very successful. Waste management has been one of the biggest problems of our municipalities, and Q Group participated in finding a lasting solution. Today, Your Excellencies, President Barrow, everybody present here, we at the Q Group has again successfully pre-financed the GTSC urban transport project, we are seeing today. Several companies bidded for the project. As the MD rightly said, we had 7 companies who bidded. Some of them were local companies and some of them were international companies. But Mr. President, I want to put this record that none of these companies who bidded agreed to pre-finance this project. Not only that Espas Motors decided to pre-finance the project, but we came out to be the most responsive and competitive bidder. Espas Motors believed in the GTSC and in TTSC and their contribution to society. And we believe in the Gambia government, its leadership and its people. We believe in the Sunubos concept. The Q group believes in the public-private partnership model promoted and encouraged by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia and his government. The bidding process followed all the procedure and protocols of GPPA, the Gambia Public Procurement Authority, and Espas Motors was able to deliver the buses on time with the right specification. Thank you very much, Espas Motor team. For public knowledge, Espas together with Ajib Bank pre-financed all the buses for a period of 4 years. Today, we are happy to deliver the buses. 8 Mercedes-Benz buses, 25 futon buses, 1 winch crane, and 4 double cabins, brand new buses from 2 top-notch manufacturers in the world, Mercedes-Benz and Futon Motors. Thank you, Gambians, once again for your support, your prayers, and believing in the Q Group Sunubes concept. This is how countries are built. We have to believe in ourselves. First, let's support each other, and the returns will stay here in the Gambia. And that's what we see today. The Q Group believes in the Sunubos concept. We believe in country first. We want to assure GTSC that we are not only suppliers, but we will be their partners to support them in executing their mandate to solving the transport problem in this country. With oil prices skyrocketing every day, which we have no control on, the only solution we have is to provide cheap and affordable transport fares to the general public. Gambians, President Barrow said in his first victory trip, and I listened to the whole speech, that politics is over. It's time to work. So let's work together. We at the Q Group will endeavor to work with the government of Gambia and the people of the Gambia to help eradicate the poverty in our society in a significant way. Let's stop talking and we walk the talk. I would like to thank His Excellency President Barrow specifically for his love of the country and his entire government for their primary objective of moving our country forward. I would also take this opportunity to thank the GTSC board, management and staff, with the leadership of the management, Mr. Kani, and his able team for this successful collaboration. I would just like to say, Mr. President, that we at the private sector believe that public-private partnership is key to development. And we should have that unit at the Ministry of Finance function very well for this country to move forward. I would also like to appeal to you, Mr. President, to help pass the local content bill. That is very important for the development of Gambian entrepreneurs in the country. We are all complaining of the unfair treatment of bigger companies or companies coming outside with big muscle. I think the local content bill will help grow the local entrepreneurship in this country. This is a classic example. This tender was floated internationally, and no international company agreed to do a free financing. We did it because we believe in you, your government, and the people of this country. And I believe that there are thousands of young Gambians out there who are more intelligent than me, smarter, and they can do bigger projects if they are given the opportunity. So I would like to call on the government to work with the private sector, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Member of Assembly to draft and pass a local bill which will encourage the business, the Gambian businesses here. We have been talking about it for a long time, and I think we need this bill to be passed so that we can move this country forward. On that note, I like to thank everybody for coming to this occasion, and we hope to see these bosses from tomorrow in our streets. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jha, for that wonderful statement. Now, I would like to call on the chairman of GTSC, Mr. Salum Malam.
No, not for me,
Your Excellency, President Adwogano, Lord Chief Justice, Honorable Speaker of the Assembly, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, particularly Minister of Law, Secretary and Head of Civil Service, Secretary General and Head of Civil Service, the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation Board Chairman and Board members, the pensioners representative to the board, Alaji Aliu Fall, my fellow board members and former members of the GTSC board, permanent secretaries, heads of government institutions and departments, religious leaders and service chiefs present, invited guests, management and staff of GTSC, the Q Group CEO and staff, the cultural group including the Biafrati and Kumari Band and Police Band, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Last but not the least, my wife, Lekum Majau, who is present here today with me to give me moral support. What protocol duly observed? I say good morning to you all. I can't agree more with General Manager Kanye that today indeed is a memorable day in the history of GTSC in general. But I will hasten to add that it is also a memorable day in my personal history. Standing here today, speaking not only as a board member, but the chairman of the board for the first time in my life. Your Excellency, Mr. President, I would like to thank you and your government in front of this august audience for the confidence bestowed on me. And further, I seize this opportunity to assure you that, by the will of Allah, I will live up to expectation. My speech as a chairman certainly revolves around strategic issues. And in this case, is how the GTSC board and parallel bodies within the government and private sector should collaborate to actualize the policies set by the government. A simple SWOT analysis reveals lots of opportunities available to us by the National Development Plan and relevant policies, specifically good road network across the length and breadth of the country. In basic high school history, we learned that one of the reasons for the development of the savanna against the rainforest is flat land that enables effective communication. Your Excellency, your government within this short span of time have done and achieved a lot, including and other relevant stakeholders. I am aware of the fact that government is already doing a lot in addressing water concerns and other required facilities in that direction, for which efforts I heartily commend the government. These efforts will eventually reduce our reliance on exported vegetables with the associated economic and social benefits, including mitigated rural-urban migration, improvement of balance of trade and balance of payment, employment creation, and so on. Of course, we all know that about 60% of the population concentrates around the urban areas. These collaborations will help to alleviate that. Coming to the Ministry of Transport, similarly, there could be further collaboration with the Ministry of Transport, whereby excess produce could be exported using the cargo complex at the Banjul International Airport, which is already RA3 certified, meaning that it can export foodstuff to the EU or via EU countries. However, this will entail intensifying efforts to make Gambian agricultural products acceptable in the first world markets. We at GTSC can venture into haulage transport services and invest in cargo trucking vehicles specifically designed to transport agricultural products from anywhere within the country and beyond in a preserved manner in line with industry standards to be deposited at the Banjul International Airport for airlifting to foreign markets. Your Excellency, going beyond the borders, there exists a market for air transport in Casamas and Guinea-Bissau, and GTSC certainly has interest in planning those routes as well. Therefore, Therefore, combined efforts to synchronize our ticketing system would offer passengers holding valid air tickets for Banjul International Airport the option to join GTSC transport services for free. Coming to tourism and culture, GTSC has plans to venture into this sector as well, including a ground tour operator. And there is a lot we can do together to add value to tourist products. It's easier for GTSC to have a fleet to be hired by tourist tour operators for the entire service, meaning that most of the tour operators are overburdened by the intense capital needed to procure buses for tour operators. So GTSC here could be supported to have a fleet to basically to carry out car rental services to tour operators. And also along the side, we can also venture and we see. Mr. President, I had an experience. When I was in Malaysia in the mid 90s, I traveled to Thailand, Bangkok. I spent 2 weeks holiday with my friend. I remember one of the things I used to enjoy, the part I was living was called Bangkok Noi. Going to the city, you have the option to join a vessel, a boat that takes you right to the city. I used to enjoy that a lot, and on my way coming back, I joined the bus. So looking at the Gambia divided by the river in between, I'm sure the Ministry of Transport has plans to revitalize the sea transport. This gives the this gives the tourists the opportunity to cruise the country by sea from Banjul Basin, and on their way back, either North Bank or South Bank, use GTSC buses. They can use the same ticket for that. The ticket you use for the boat could be used for GTSC, and by extension could be used to put at the airport as well. It is important to reveal that, Mr. President, the GTSC is currently operating only 50% of its capacity because the long-term plan is to deploy a bus every hour, both within and beyond the greater Banjul area. Currently, GTSC operates a minimum of six buses from both North Bank and South Bank, Banjul Basin, and is always full to capacity. That justifies the fact that the demand for buses is acute because certainly we all want to minimize the accidents happening on our roads. And the customers, the economists are rational consumers. They know where their interest lies. They know there is safety with GTSC. So I think all efforts to boost the presence of GTSC is a step in the right direction. Permanent Minister of Education, Higher Education and Research. Currently, I know that the GTDI is on rehabilitation and upgrading. But there is a market for GTDI because GTSC has plans to venture into car assembly plants. Now that gives GTDI the opportunity to upgrade and make sure that skill is available at GTDI, which is a ready market for GTSC and other two operators. So I would implore the Ministry of Higher Education, there's that strategic level to work with other parallel partners and actualize these dreams to create employment for youth. Like Imam said, most of our youth are dying in Zimbabwe. I think these are some of the issues we can promote apart from agricultural issues I mentioned previously, to alleviate them. However, it is important to point at this juncture that most of these projects I'm talking about call for coordination of strategic resources and direction of all stakeholders to think outside the box, to exploit the opportunities created by the government and make things happen. I know some might look very ambitious, but as the saying goes, Rome was not built in a day. Therefore, those that are immediate could be addressed as such, while others could be subjected to further study or consultancy for appropriate and timely implementation for generations yet unborn. Your Excellency, it's important to reveal that we face a certain challenge, basically which is school bus. We know schools are going to open very soon. We face that challenge. We will need more buses for school. And like I said previously, we will need more buses for long haul travels, Banjul buses across the country. It is equally important to reveal that we are already currently implementing courier services, but we also want to upgrade that to international standards. Mr. President, before I conclude, although I'm coming new as chairman, but during this first part I have with GHTC, I can assure you that GHTC is on track. But like the Mandinka say, that the also a better pendable. Yes. And in all of that they say that Fekumulir, Balamune, Feka Yabati Simbagabi. So GDSC is doing very well, but Mr. President, I was a live witness to your personal intervention to this particular project. And going by the financial analysis, the net present value analysis that I review, if it not for your personal intervention, the net present value analysis was going to be negative. That means it's going to be a loss-making venture. So it is a profit-making venture, Your Excellency, due to your personal intervention. I thank you very much for that. On that note, Mr. President, I thank all listeners. I thank you for the kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Malam, for that wonderful but strategic statement. Just to assure you that at the Ministry of Transport, we do have a transport policy, and river transport is a key component of that. And so, as the chairman, we have a lot to work with you on that. Thank you very much. I now want to call on. We reached at the second part of this program, which is to have a musical performance by various cultural groups with a special guest artist in the name of Jaliba Piati. I hope the stage is ready for that.
That's good.
Hello. Hello.
The first performer for the day will be Jaliba Piate and the Kumare Band, and this will be followed by Jalim Man. So can we have Jaliba Piate on the stage?
Okay, it's coming. As in
Bosola pa bawanyanta karikanyang ala na piriso amoda jomobe ni bedun naila paso ya kanta jori ko latiki do yo mabo ni bedun naila paso ya kanta jori ko latiki do yo mabo ala baraka abina de jamana la da baro ini la harga la baro ni wow ala baraka Jaliba still have one more track to perform. Then this will be followed by two by Jalimanda. Then we have Tayalang Sultan Sao, who will do the final performance. So Jaliba, one more track.
Hey, alafu mmoja boje vijalie tulu. Alikujali ba play ba.
So Jalimanda who will perform only one track, he said, and this will be followed by Sugar Star. Jalimanda.
Baju Majallo dingo. Ita malo dia da Gambia. Ya kailo sabatin di Gambia. Ya buda sabatin di Gambia. Kamisena sabatin di Gambia. Bosu kudolu nada, sida kudolu nada. Komo pembe nyumbangu Gambi. Baju Majallo ni ara kende ala ya be sabatin di bangu. Ne duare ala mai simala. Ala mere nyumbangu. Ala mo ala hajo jara ala kane fo jawala ala kana jawo sawolo. Kila hormona barkola mbaju Majallo dimo Mamadou Baro dimo kuram baro mamado nyamata so mamado inganya nganya betera basa yangu pemplati ala la masoro dila ala ga mo ke masodi ni mangi hina dudi ala hino dila ala ga mo ke masodi imangi ala muslim hakawdi ala ke muslim hakawdi wallahi ala soni mo so tekile ala bi dawdi nga bolo bo molle yakeje ala mo me so mo ko tabo baba ja kono nani kiatesi apokedo bani kadi jalola ko ngambalu kadu mi adam barolo noma baba ja kula sinani dada sinani bukutu buku dese mali mali malado kula sinani dada sinani bukutu buku dese baba ja la de baba ja bariko baba ja tiki baba ja amerika kudere bebe ameriki alu babu chigala ameriki bebe ameriki lambe tako ba ameriki wallahi wolum fajari ni ko re dunda ko dul fala ka jalo la ko chapatle na eta wallahi jalo ala bule bulu ala na dana mbaju Majallo do be siri o indil ko no fala gambe jam man kon ko nyala man min do nyala man fe do nyala baro man nasi jalo muso di won namo Lamini baro la farma jawara ko mi jawara mamare ko ba asitila ni to kubali nuru sama ni karabali sama mani sama ko mani sama ya ma sa ko ya sin sa ho ni ba sa ho sani ko ma ni sani da ma abira tun karanu wari ko ni karanu wari ala barika bunya fada fada bayo kidi amuzarani doa sarwa masa ya ada mabaro masa mudalu kanati jongana baga jonyo ma beni kuninga jongana faria jonyo ma beni daya maria masongo amadu sade na maria masongo Ude sise, fa bakari sise di ude ya barika. Baka mo la mai muna sise ya barika. Bita mo de mai muna barika sidila. Ai sabi ka wale. Saro jime musabala. Kununja ni mai muna baro janyo waja nyoma kuyana amarusa ni nyancho barika. NPP minister ni barika. Adama, ikane mi ikane ko masole, mira banasi ake are noya. Azaka, Adama baro, Adama baro, tombo gambi akake masake dikarisaba. Mawaso ni joso de kiliti, alaso ni joso de kilia, kungul masabe kafisa morisa. Adama baro. Wallahi billahi mo ka di mani wono kan fata isata bari ala di jo me na fata man so jabaru ala juru jana di mo aja mari muna bande
Thank you.
fula mo ta jaba asirima
Thank you very much.
anyale pali mana tengele banna di tengele bila do tengele asan jalo la sirima mai mu na jama
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Can we now have Tunkar Sao as the final performer for the day?
No, don't go.
Hello. His Excellency President of the Republic of the Gambia mu ngi lay a foundation stone pour hôtel boo xam ne moo gën a seer si biir Afrika dama bëgg a ngeen tàccul président Barrow tàccul le président Barrow yal na nga fi yaaga moo tax ma ne man maa yow dinañ dunda téeméeri at dinañ fi yaaga de duñu mun a yéey.
Thank you very much. Now we come to, we're getting close to the end of the program. This is the highlights of the event for today. Can I now have the honor to call on His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces, to make his launching statement.
Why tàcculeen mooy lii mooy lan tàcculeen président Barrow tàcculeen ko way Suso président Barrow démba inaugurate na project bu mag tourist back inaugurate na project samedi mu ngi lay a foundation stone la ilaha illallah pour 10-star hotel tàcculeen président Barrow jarama président Barrow.
Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, Honorable Members of the National Assembly, Lord Mayor of KMC, GTSC Chairman and Board of Directors, GTSC Managing Director and staff, Managing Director, Q Group Gambia Limited, Mohamed Jah. Distinguished guests, the media, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks another milestone in the history of vehicular transportation in the country. As we launch the Urban Transport Initiative, for which we are here to inaugurate 38 brand new buses. 33 of the buses are exclusively for urban transport services, while the remaining 5 are operational support to the Urban Transport Initiative project. This development cannot come at a better time, considering the recent significant improvements on our road infrastructure network and the growing traffic congestion in the greater Banjul area. Despite the government's achievements in this sector, the need to complement road infrastructure development with proper road transport operations is obvious. History teaches that for any country to improve its transport services, public transport services, particularly in urban settings, must be efficient and responsibly managed. These urban transport initiatives illustrates the national development plans recognition of the important role public transport services contribute towards the national economy. Acting on this recognition, my government will steadfastly seek to improve the transport sector through all relevant stakeholders, especially the operatives within it. Recently, we established the Department of Transport at the Ministry of Transport Works and Infrastructure to assume oversight responsibility of policy and regulation of road transport and other related subsectors. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the greater Banjul area hosts the bulk of our population. No wonder meeting the mobility needs of the people within the area amid its rapid rate of urbanization and population growth is one of the major challenges in the national transport policy. As such, any scheme geared towards improving urban transport services to ease movement within the compounding traffic congestion is not welcome and laudable. It's most welcome and laudable. Cognizant of this huge challenge, we are intensifying efforts during the implementation period of the National Transport Policy 2018-2026. My government will continue to address the concerns linked to the increased demand for transport through efficiency improvements, including regular and effective public transport service provision and traffic management measures. Easing traffic on the main road links will take center stage in this respect. With a broader city-state concept in mind, we expect that this project will extend services to the rural area in our drive to comprehensively address the transport challenges we face throughout the length and breadth of the country. Consequently, we must know that efficiency in the transport sector cannot come about without active participation of the private sector. The private sector is key, the private sector is important, and we thank Mr. Mohamed Jah and congratulate him for these efforts. Well done, Mr. Mohamed Jah, for the support. In this regard, we renew the invitation to the private sector operators to participate in operating an effective and efficient transport system in the country. Given the fact that the road transport system is liberalized, I challenge the private sector to play a more active and diverse role in the sector. The collaboration established by Q Group and the Gambia Transport Service Company, GTSC, is highly commendable. And I advocate the promotion of such mutual collaboration and cooperation. In accordance with the National Transport Policy, the Gambia government will create incentives to facilitate and broaden private sector participation in public transportation and activities. I assure you that government will continue to support GTSC to operate buses in all regions of the country, while encouraging private partners to invest more in infrastructure development to support the sector. We will consider allocating routes on the local and secondary routes to GTSC based on agreed terms of engagement beneficial to all partners. Meanwhile, the relevant authorities will arrange to review the legislative frameworks to enable the government to play the triple role of facilitator, regulator, and enforcer, while the private sector takes on operational responsibility within the sector. The supply credit agreement between GTSC and the Q Group Express Motors through the provision of urban transport services will immensely ease transportation for low-income households. Besides this, it will make transport operations more valuable, and transport providers are likely to increase hours of operation, service frequency, and destination. All these go with environmental benefits, such as reducing emission and reducing the road congestion currently experienced on the road links in the urban area. I have noted that the project will create employment for at least 70 Gambians. With the good safety record of GTSC over the years, we hope the initiative will lower the high rate of road accidents to the barest minimum. I thank the GTSC for their tireless efforts to provide reliable public transport service in the Gambia. The Urban Transport Services Initiative clearly symbolizes a new era of collaboration for public transport service provision. We pray that it succeeds. I appreciate and commend the Q Group for agreeing to supply buses to GTSC through a supply credit agreement for the implementation of these important projects. For those who will be gainfully employed by the project, I urge you to make use of this opportunity and take good care of the buses. I cannot conclude without expressing appreciation to the staff of the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, and Finance and Economic Affairs for working to ensure that the project takes off the ground smoothly. Finally, I thank everyone here for your presence. I entreat you to remain united with government to augment our development efforts for a better Gambia. As Mohammed said, the topic is finished. Now let's get to work. It is time to work. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with this brief statement, it is my honor and delight to officially inaugurate the new fleet of buses for urban public transportation. God bless all of us. Thank you.
President Barrow. Kacabela His Excellency President Adam Barrow. Barkade Bonjai Sinatini. Barkade Bonjai Sinatini Lima Hamna Project Umar. Si Let's Go Freedom. They were inaugurated the project with insurance. They inaugurated the Lima Hamna Moy.
Thank you.
Why not? Someday, Yangi were just a foundation store.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for that wonderful statement. Now, on the agenda, we have the handing over of the keys. For this, we want to call on the chairman of Q Group, the Honorable Minister of Transport, Work and Infrastructure, and the Managing Director of Gambia Transport Service Company. The keys will be handed over from the chairman to the Honorable Minister of Transport, who would hand it over to His Excellency the President, and His Excellency will hand the key over to the Managing Director of GTSC as the operator. Thank you.
Jërëjëf Your Excellency ñu ngi la gërëm bu baax si li nga xam ne yaa ngi ñoo def si handing over si caabi waaye ñu ngi la gërëm Minister of Works di gërëm Mohamed Dia borom QTV ñu ngi la gërëm sa staff yi gërëm ki nga xam ne mooy waa GTS yëpp ñu ngi leen a gërëm ñu ngi leen a gërëm bu baax a baax président Barrow samedi bu soobee yàlla mu ngi teg Eleno Foundation Store invite nañ fa ku nekk Lord Mayor of KMC invite nañ na fa Minister of Local Government and Land Abassagna ñu ngi laa gërëm bu baax ci laan boobu noonu mi président waral nekk foundation stone deputy speaker ñu ngi leen a gërëm ministre si yëpp bàyyiwuñ leen lii mooy Gambia fu nekk ñu ngi ñoo joxe si li nga xam ne mooy caabi bi tàccu leen waay tàccu leen ñu ngi def xalit over lii mooy dëgga Suso kontaan nañ bu baax man liggéey naa GPTC 18 years joxe nañ caabi bi président Barrow tàccu leen loolu mooy dëgga lii mooy Gambia benn bopp la kenn mënu ko xar ñaar Lord Mayor bu KMC ñu ngi laa gërëm bu baax ci sa teewaay.
Thank you very much.
jërëjëf.
Yes. Finally, we invite Your Excellency to join us in the bus for the conductor tour as the final event of today. Your Excellency, you are highly invited.
Wow.
President Barrow Banjul duga si boss bi drive mu dem be si aj bi loolu neex na si xol ñu ngi leen a gërëm bu baax lii kontante la
li ngay def yow yaa def am na cameraman yi yaa ngi dugg doo leen bàyyi
ayo dama war a interview ma wax tuuti
mooy li nga xam ne
yow ne ki ñaari
ko
ma
yóbbu raaw mu gis boos bi mu dawal ñu drive ko si boos bi loolu kontaante la si Gambia yëpp ak mbooloom doomi NPP kontaante bu mag la si yow
yan kàddu amal Gambien si wàllu li yan kàddu nga amal
li ma amal kaddu bi ma amal Gambien si mooy ñun ñëpp nañ leen xam ne réew mi ñoo ko moom ma Demba moomu ko ma Paate moomu ko ma Yoro moomu ko ma Samba moomu ko réew mi ñun ñëpp a si am cër boos yi nii du war naa leen boos yi du boos yi NPP du boos yi UDP du boos yi PPP boos yi Gambia la
nañu dimbale ci wàllum fee passeport man maa jógee maa ko fii surtout ci ñibi wanteere moom rek la ci affaire lii suñu teraanga lii lu baax la suñu njaboot bi yàlla na leen mel ni yeneen ñëwee yeneen ñëw bari du ñu dem maa ngi leen toog liggéey te Mohamed tamit maa sa mooy moo jur yaaya moo jur Banjul adiale mu jur Serigne Modou Ka